Hey, this is Brett. About almost 5 years ago now, I wrote an article about some QuickBooks alternatives. At the time, I had just found a service called Freshbooks, and eventually I also found a service called Outright. Today, it's almost 2015, it's November of 2014. I'm using a combination of FreshBooks and GoDaddy Bookkeeping, which purchased Outright, which was a startup company at the time, and kind of folded it into GoDaddy. I heard today about a new tool that came up with FreshBooks, and I wanted to update this article. I've written extensively here about my experiences with QuickBooks, QuickBooks Online, FreshBooks, invoicing, PayPal, and quite a bit. And I've added little bits and tidbits that I've experienced or learned or found over the years. And one of the tidbits that I found today was FreshBooks offers something that they call the free invoice creator at freeinvoicecreator.com. Admittedly, this is kind of a freebie to help you see if you might be interested in using the rest of FreshBooks. FreshBooks, in this case, is basically offering you the ability to create a free invoice online. And much of this invoice presentation is very similar to the way invoices feel in the full version of FreshBooks. FreshBooks, the full version, offers the ability to send these invoices directly from the system to your customers' email accounts, which you can maintain in the system, and your customers can then log into that invoice and pay it online through several different payment options, merchant providers, and what have you. This is just the ability to create the invoice, and it's free. And so you can put in your company name, where it's going to be billed from, the bill to address, which would be, this is where you'd want people to send your payments. And I'm just going to walk through filling this out, making up things as I go, just so that you can get a sense of what the form feels like. So first, then we need to build a client. I think I included a space there. And I'm going to try and fake it with so here we get to the actual invoicing part, and that's kind of the point that I wanted to show. So we can add lines, and there's two types of things that you can add. In FreshBooks itself, you can set up a number of different items, things that you may bill for regularly. That could be a product or it can be a service, and you can set unit costs and quantities and what have you. So I'm going to just add something. We sell widgets, and we sell them for $50 a piece. And in this case, we're going to come up with an invoice for 3 of those widgets. You can also do a time entry, and you can put in a task. So I do web development, so maybe I'm formatting some HTML. So just put in some dummy text there, and I can put in my rate, and maybe I worked an hour. Now, fractions of an hour, they don't calculate minutes, so I'm going to put 1.45 hours. That's not an hour and 45 minutes. That's slightly less than an hour and a half. And I'm not going to include any taxes. And we can see things are totaling up. So we have our line items and our hours. And we can continue editing, or we can save and send. Now, in this case, we can send it from a particular address. I'm going to put in my Yahoo just for purposes of this demonstration. And I'll send it to myself. Or we could save it as a PDF. This is the free version, so it looks like you can send the invoice. So we'll go ahead and send it. I sent that to Brett at yahoo.com, not Brett Bum at yahoo.com. I apologize, Brett, whoever you are out there, the other Brett. So at this point, you can also then save and continue to invoice. This is a bit of a a service. They're trying to see if you're interested in maybe setting up a greater account, and this is the lead into that process. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So anyway, I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a see-through or a look at this. I don't generally show off my own FreshBooks accounts for tutorials, and so this was kind of a way that I could show you what an invoice looked like and kind of give you some sense of what things might be out there. I'm going to add this video eventually to this article and a link to the free invoice creator as well, which is freeinvoicecreator.com. There you have it. Hope that helps.